I want to be lefty. Low top.
This is alright. Well, he's hard to fuck too.
I got a new shot for you, baby. Oh, pop that.
You ready? You ready?
Let's go. What's the score?
4-1.
Woo! Lord have mercy.
3-3. 5-1.
Austin's got it. Molly's got it. Everybody got it. I know it by heart.
You ready?
You gotta show me something. Go.
Okay, Paul. a good accurate shot. That's all you gotta do. Get 2 overs. Alright, poker play. Damn, I guess he didn't really want to play Brian all that bad.
I did. If I didn't, you would have beat me. All right, I'm retired for the rest of the day. It's the blue day. Fail. I actually cheated. I took my 2 points from him.
Anthony and Chris, what would happen in the final game?
Hey, he has really slow reflexes and his shots come off like this. Oh, yeah. Remember the opposite world? Right. Yeah, we went to such a game. Like that. Remember Cat Dog? You ever know Cat Dog? I've heard it. There's a picture on Facebook somebody said that.
Yes,
It's like a little dog in the very back. Those comes up and shoots that dog. So, yeah, that's right in the middle of the body. There's a dog.
broken.
I'm thinking about this woman in Colorado that I really like. You know, I'm thinking about explaining to her first that to me, you're like an air hockey table.
I like fighting to the death on the table, you know, like a gladiator.
This guy hit the throat. I fell in love with air hockey in June of 1973. I picked up the mallet, no glove, didn't know anything about it, won 18 games in a row. There was so much energy going through my body of air hockey greatness that my arm just, you know, it was too much. These people are more intense than that.
What do you think, honey, of the air hockey crowd?
I won't say anything.
There's a lot of individuals in air hockey. They have unique interests and they're not a real mainstream. Men, traditionally competitive, typically not in relationships with women, kind of loners, you know, kind of in love with the table and maybe married to the table, I don't know.
I used to play air hockey every day. I'd play 30, 40 games a day. I would just play air hockey. That's what I like to do.
That's ridiculous.
Mark feels like he has to make sure that air hockey's not going to die, to make sure that when he is dead, air hockey will continue living.
I think the extinction of air hockey is a very real concern. The arcades are virtually extinct these days.
Unless somebody is able to come in and do some really radical marketing, you know, it may not be around.
We have
ahead.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to AHL Friday Night Live. It's the 29th of November. We're having the Robin Hood Weekly. Currently a few matches in. Your host Charles Gray here with you today. Looks like we got a quick one there. Phil got a fast win there. I'd like to thank our sponsors, including Old Humble. If you haven't had it, it's delicious and smooth, and gotta get that in. It's very delicious. Kind of slow action going on here between Phil Arnold and Michael Garza. Mike's getting 5 points, as you can see, to start the game. Phil very much slow playing this evening. If you've been with us since the beginning of the broadcast and you saw his first victory, he took over the game late by slowing it down a little bit and choosing his shots a little more deliberately.
Strategy here almost looks like he's giving the newcomer a break. Garza does get a 5-point head start in each of these, so I think Phil's just letting him feel a little bit good about himself before the old master steps up and polishes the kid off.
Yeah, Phil slides another one through quite deftly.
Coming straight down the middle of the table. No forehand or backhand action, just a straight on knuckleball from Phil on that one. And another one. Not something we're accustomed to seeing from any of the players.
Oh, that looks like four.
From a defensive standpoint, a shot like that to a better player is almost like a straight fastball or a straight change right down the middle to a hitter in baseball. Just too easy to handle. But to a rookie like Garza, who's still learning the game, Arnold giving him every opportunity to defend himself here, and the kid just not really standing much of a chance. But as always, that's why we do handicap each of these matches at our weekly, to give young players like Garza a fighter's chance against a pro like Arnold. Obviously, Phil Arnold, one of the founders of the sport, as well as a multi-world championship winner. And now he moves it to game point.
That definitely would be me. I would be the Garza kid. And that's how it would end. Just like that.
You got a mouth made for this job. I do not have the hand-eye coordination made for that job.
That was the first set. Okay.
As always, our weekly is coming to you from our new location here in the Mekong Underground, which we are currently in the process of maybe renaming. A great little hideaway here in Midtown in Houston, Texas. We're at 2808 Milan. Our tournaments every Friday are open to the public. Free your first time out. Any subsequent competition you visit, we just ask for a $5 donation, which goes into the tournament prize pool so you guys have something to play for.
Phil gets a little easy one there. Mike with a rookie mistake.
Again, Mike did win the first game against Phil Arnold. So we are tied up at a game apiece. So the 5-point head start does give give a young player a small advantage. Almost like the handicap system that the USGA employs for golfers. Obviously, I couldn't go out and play Tiger Woods heads up, but you let me play off the appropriate tee box, and you give me what I would estimate to be about 27 strokes. I might stand a fighter's chance to tie the man. At his best, Tiger Woods had the lowest handicap in golf. It was negative, meaning he was giving 2 points to 0. 0 handicap golfers, he was giving 2 strokes to around. That's disgusting. Another straight one down the middle from Arnold finds the back of the table.
Wow, that was a quick one too. Right behind it, off the board.
Garza started playing with a little confidence there until he lost the mallet. See what that does to the confidence now. The glaring difference between a player like Garza and a player like Arnold. When Garza's playing off the rails, he has no idea where that puck's going, but I think we have the upset. And we do. Garza knocks off Phil Arnold and sends him into the elimination bracket early.
That is definitely an upset victory.
A little bit more about our new location. We do have 5 tables here at the Mekong Underground. Lots of players do have keys to the property, so if you do know somebody and would like to get in, just get a hold of one of our regulars or message us through the AHL 360 website, and we can set up a time to get you out here for some practice time. Like I said, there are multiple key holders for this location, and we invite anyone to come out and play. We'd love to have you. Shout out to our sponsor at the I-45 Bingo Hall, located at 45 North and 1960. They've got games going on this evening, starting up at around 10:30 this evening. So you got about an hour and a half. Take your mobile device, follow along with the live air hockey action, and take your chance at a guaranteed $10,000 in cash and prizes. I've got a match coming up here between Joanne Flowers and Christina Marino. I am not familiar with either of these players.
Looks like a mother-daughter matchup here, possibly. Although they do have different last names. Can never be too sure these days.
As we do get the call for a restroom, we do provide those facilities here as well.
Alright, we're looking to be underway here shortly. Just trying to get the particulars together.
Well, eventually, we've got 6 cameras now. Yeah, we know that.
Just one. Alright. Looks like we're just about sorted out. We're just waiting for the puck to come down.
Big shout out to Georgia and Pete for all the work they've put into this property, getting it decorated, getting everything put together. Big plans for this place. A ceiling renovation, I believe, is what's next on the agenda. Going to do some things to fix up the floors as well. We've got a huge seating area for spectators. This space, you know, we held the World Championships here this year, or State Championships here just a few weeks ago. About 100, 150 people in house and plenty of room for everybody. There is a small bar located next door that will take care of your refreshment needs, whether they be non-alcoholic or otherwise.
Also a couple of eateries in the immediate area so that you'll have something to munch on if you like.
Yeah, one of the higher rated noodle houses, Faux Saigon, located just 3 doors down from us. Great bowl of noodles in that place. You can press the Reader's poll has voted them best pho in Houston for the last 3 or 4 years. I tend to agree, and I've got the bloated belly to prove it. Little one's got some skills.
She's got some pop in that wrist, I see. She's victimized by a bad rebound there, but she's definitely not afraid to go for it.
Obviously, this is not a prize fight, but the reach advantage
definitely goes to Miss Flores.
Miss Flores definitely gonna have a small advantage as she is actually able to reach the center of the table. She won't have to put as much effort into each attempt to generate the same amount of pop on her shots. Yeah, looks like Miss Flores, is she the little one? Miss Marino?
Miss Marino's the young one.
Looks like Miss Marino can almost reach the O on the Dynamo emblem on the middle of the table. Looks like she might be 1 grade and a whole nother summer away from getting there.
And on cue, the paddle goes flying across the table. Well, we like that enthusiasm. It's great. It's infectious.
Nothing like a little preteen angst to spice up the broadcast. I don't like how this point went. I'm just going to fling my mallet at your head.
It does feel a little cats in the cradle-ish. It just does.
Also, another huge shout out to our newest sponsor at Old Humble Distilleries. Jonathan, thank you again. My home bar has never been happier. Appreciate all you do and your donations. Without your support and the support of all of our other sponsors, AHL 360 would be unable to happen.
That was nice.
Yeah. Sorry about the technical interruption. Those beeps you heard were not a cell phone.
Just say a shout out to Pete. We
Yeah,
love you, Pete.
Everything's fine. Thanks for calling. Go play your music and leave me alone. That's it. We're calling him out on the air. It happens every Friday around this time, folks. But when we do need something, nope, we're just going to let it go. Haven't had that much Old Humble yet, but stay tuned, folks. Things might get rotten before
It's a little early
before
in the
this
night.
broadcast is over. And it would also appear we're going to need a fresh bottle for next week's broadcast. No problem.
It is 5-2 in the interim.
The Old Humble products available at some of the Specs retailers. Your best bet is to check the availability online. I know they have them here at the Smith Street location.
Or you can always drop by the distillery.
Always drop by the distillery. We'll get the info on that for you again here real soon. I know they're moving. That's where the confusion comes from. I'm just not sure.
As we discussed last week, they are going to be moving facilities at the top of the year, but you can still go out to Humble, right across from the old high school, I believe it was.
That is, I believe, what he said.
Yes, right there in the town proper.
If anything, visit their website at oldhumbledistilling.com. And I do believe that is correct, over on 1960 across from the old high school.
And that is game for Miss Flores. That's the score. Sorry, we meant to share that with you. Didn't want to keep it a secret.
Also from Old Humble, the Boomtown Bourbon is being released in the next month or so. Going to be, or in the next couple of weeks, available just in time for Christmas. Make sure you get yourself out to the distillery, as that will be the only availability they have to pick up your bottle of Boomtown by Old Humble.
You know, it's not quite Christmas yet, but tonight just seems to keep on giving and giving.
Flores with the Game 1 victory over Miss Moreno. So Miss Moreno gonna need to come back here.
She's giving it some effort there. A couple of forehands. They don't land home. I think the person getting the points back?
Miss Moreno, I think, has got the points. 3-0 Miss Moreno right now. Yep, that's the stuff. I feel my conversational skills improving already.
That is smooth whiskey right there.
One more time, we are talking about, wait for it, there's gambling gone, and let's bring whiskey into it.
Two things that do go together, contrary to popular belief.
And again, folks, games at the I-45 Bingo Hall starting tonight at 10:30. Guaranteed $2,000 in cash prizes. fairly certain Miss Moreno out to a huge lead here. It is .5. I'm wrong. Sorry.
Oh, that's how that went. That way.
Sorry, we were reading advertising copy and kind of lost track of what was going on the screen.
Okay, so it looks like we're pushing to a third set here.
For those of you new to air hockey, each of these matches is made up of 3 games. It is the first one to win best 2 out of 3. Each game is 2 7 points, and there is a handicap point spot based on the player's skill level. I'm not sure of these players' levels, but if I had to guess, Moreno's probably playing a level 2, Flores playing a level 1, but they're only 1 level apart, so that's why Moreno gets the spot, and I got that backwards. Flip-flop that, reverse it, as Gene Wilder would say.
All right, 1-0. And we're underway.
Decent turnout for a Friday night. 12 people. Day after Thanksgiving. Lots of folks have family in town, so obviously the turnout not what we'd like to see for a normal Friday, but gotta take care of the in-laws.
Family first, right? We're a family-oriented organization, so it's very fitting. I'll be solo dolo for the next couple of moments, so I hope you'll bear with me on the broadcast. Pretty good action back and forth between Flores and Moreno. Young Krista Moreno has a lot of spunk, and obviously a gift for the game, as you can tell. I believe the score is 3-2. Or 3-0. It might be, 3-0. So that was the first point for Miss Flores. Little backhand there. Krista falls victim to the old behind the bumper. Miss Flores got a little too aggressive there. Got caught by her own rebound. Good straight hand though. Makes up for it. Oh, little young Krista right back at her. Good defense there. Good action back and forth. Just gonna have to avoid the scoring on our own goal there. Just gonna have to watch out for that. nasty off the near rail forehand there. Oh, there it is. See, that's that own goal scoring. That's at least twice now. She's being victimized by herself. And she gets a straight hand in there, though. Oh, and the rebound for the win. Young Krista Moreno will advance. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be back after a short break.
I'm thinking about this woman in Colorado that I really like. And I'm thinking about explaining to her first that, to me, you're like an air hockey table.
I like fighting to the death on the table, you know, like a gladiator.
This guy hit the throat.
I fell in love with air hockey in June of 1973. I picked up the mallet, no glove, didn't know anything about it, won 18 games in a row. There was so much energy going through my body of air hockey greatness that my arm just, it was too much.
These people are more intense than that.
What do you think, honey, of the air hockey crowd?
I won't say anything.
There's a lot of individuals in air hockey. They have unique interests and they're not a real mainstream. Men, traditionally competitive, typically not in relationships with women, kind of loners, kind of in love with the table and maybe married to the table, I don't know.
I used to play air hockey every day. I'd play 30, 40 games a day. I would just play air hockey. That's what I like to do.
That's ridiculous.
Mark feels like he has to make sure that air hockey's not going to die, to make sure that when he is dead, air hockey will continue living.
I think the extinction of air hockey is a very real concern. The arcades are virtually extinct these days.
Unless somebody is able to come in and do some really radical marketing, it may not be around.
We have wives, we have jobs, we have things that we can spend our money on rather than coming to Vegas to play air hockey. So there's definitely something about air hockey that's keeping us going.
We're really starting to reach out and connect the fan base to the sponsor base to the player base.
Oh, you got 500! Like to win 16-3! 4-7-0! Unbelievable!
In the moment of playing air hockey, there is no misery. You're playing air hockey.
Why they have jump rope and things like that on ESPN and not air hockey, it's kind of beyond me.
And folks, we are back. Joanne Flores facing off against L.A. Marino Jr. Here at our featured table. This is an elimination match, so the loser of this will be sent packing for the evening, for lack of a more delicate term. Marino takes a 2-1 lead over Flores. Nice shot by the youngster. Another shot by Marino. That one a backhand high off the right rail, and then some sloppy defense allows Flores to cut the lead to just 3-2. Marino rolling now out to a 4-2 lead over Flores. He is doing a great job of keeping the pressure on here early. Mr. Charles stepped away from the mic. He will be back in just a few minutes. As always, my name is Jay, and I will be here as well for the rest of the evening. Nice shot by Marino, but an even better defensive stop by Flores. And Flores evens it up at 4 points apiece. Nice little comeback effort by Joanne here in game number 1.
Alright, doing a little swap-or-do here. And that is another big little straight hand from Miss Flores to take the 5-4 lead. Tied at 5. Ooh, straight hand from Marino Jr. to get to game point in set number 1. I know it says 3 up there, but it's set number 1. Oh, and Marino Jr. takes game 1 with a 7-5 victory. Alright, set 2. Miss Flores is getting a point on young Marino Jr.
Did they name it this week?
Oh, Marino Jr. on the attack early. Forehand. Gets the Duke. Oh, I see 2-2 here. I must have missed a point. I apologize. Oh, that's an on to self score there. We've been seeing that happen throughout the night. Seeing a little more slow play here, a little more deliberate plans of attack coming from young Marino Jr. Trying to find a way to break through the defenses of Miss Flores. Oh, and there it is, a straight hand. That gets through.
Beautiful backhand to the right side of the scoring zone. Another one from Moreno. Starting to capitalize on that backhand.
And that's the winner right there for Young Marino Jr. closing it out 7-3 in dominant fashion.
LA really finding a weakness down the middle against Joanne. He found that started having some success with that backhand right down the middle of the table, and Joanne Flores unable to do a thing about it. We are going to cut away for a quick break. Another quick shout out to our sponsors at Old Humble Distillery and I-45 Bingo. My name's Jay, and for Charles, we will be right back.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah, third time's a charm on the audio.
Right.
Garza really capitalizing in the winner's bracket with that 5-point head start he's getting against all these solid players. Marino no chump, and Garza handling him early and getting that first point right off the bat. And Marino now forced to battle back from 6-0. Gonna have to score 7 before Garza scores 1.
Oh, and right now he's definitely putting in the effort there. He's come storming back to make it 6-5.
Garza trying to learn to do the drift. Not gonna fool a player like Marino with that. Marino explaining to him might be a little gamesmanship there from Marino, trying to get in the youngster's head. Not a bad forehand effort by the youngster, but quickly shut down by the KG veteran. The veteran capitalizes with a knuckleball right down the middle.
It seems like Garza's strategy is to use the rebounds, because he doesn't shoot a lot of backhands or forehands, it seems.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to go with any kind of strategy. I kind of just think he's swinging blind at those hard shots from Marino and hoping for the best. And he couldn't find it in that match. Marino shuts him down in game number 1, winning it 7-6. Coming back from the 5-point head start, falling behind 6-0 and rattling off 7 unanswered. Good show in game number 1. Doesn't matter how green your opponent is. 7 straight points is impressive from anyone.
Marino gets a break one. Yeah, he's starting to put on a little bit of a clinic now. He fired off 2 real fast. He's counting on those forehands because Garza seems to have a hard time with the defense there on the straight line shots. You can see Marino just trying to line up a nice place for a forehand or backhand.
I'm the president and CEO of United Airhockey Promotions. I have been running air hockey tournaments for about 15 years now, and I manage them here at SMU Houston. Most new players, when they step up for the first time, they're quite surprised at the quality of skill that we have at the sport. Most people out that have not seen professional air hockey don't realize how advanced it actually is.
Coming back on, guys, with the match between Georgia Lippincott and Austin Fernandez. We'll get you an updated score. I do believe it's 2-1 Lippincott right now, is what I believe I just saw. Now I believe it's 3-1. And 2-3, and we are all caught up. This is, I believe, a winner's bracket semi. No, this is a elimination bracket semifinal. So whoever wins this match will be moving into... we'll be moving into the elimination bracket. Oh.
Final, right?
No, this is an elimination bracket quarterfinal.
Oh.
Winner will move on to face Christina Marino in the next elimination semifinal match. While the loser of this match will be on their way home.
Seemed rather upset that he exploded the puck off the table there.
Should be a pretty entertaining match. Two highly skilled players. Miss Georgia, a former women's champion. While Austin Fernandez, one of the stronger young players in the air hockey community these days. Good drift work from Fernandez, but lots of work with no payoff. And Lippincott scores high off the right rail. Good shot by Miss Georgia. Snuck it right underneath the defense of Fernandez. But she follows it up with a mistake on defense. And Fernandez cuts the lead back to 1.
A little bit of slow play here from Fernandez. Oh, before the forehand. That was expertly done.
Pays off. Got that puck as close to center line before he unleashed the beast right down the middle of the table.
Nice. He played that off the rail very nicely there.
One of these days, folks, when we get some office renovations done and it stops looking like the closet it actually is in here, we might give y'all some video from our side of things. But for the few of us out there who have met Charles and I, boy, we got faces for the radio.
Fernandez trying to psych Georgia out. It's not working so far.
Georgia with some pretty icy calm right here, facing that onslaught from Fernandez. Finally able to regain the possession. And now she's on the attack. Pretty short-lived though. Fernandez shut her down pretty quick.
But she's still on the attack though. And she gets one by.
And Miss Lippincott comes out ahead in that little chess match of possessions right there.
And almost had him there.
Seems that the slower, deliberate game is going to is favoring Fernandez at this point. While when Lippincott gets possession, she really increases the pace of play, and that's how she's been able to score. Fernandez being a lot pickier with his shot selection. Lots more drift work, trying to open up her defense, and as soon as she exposes a little bit of the scoring zone, he pops one right into it. That one just missing left. Again, Georgia a little bit late getting the defense over there. Almost looks like Fernandez is setting her up to come back across the other side of the table. And that was the attempt, but Georgia shut it down. She was thinking just what we were.
Georgia finally gets possession of the puck.
Tried to go back to the right.
She gets a little bit of a little lucky there. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Fernandez able to shut down the initial right wall under attempt, but the puck just taking its own drift around the table came right back off the same spot, half as fast, and he just wasn't ready for it. He was so excited he shut down the attempt. He forgot to deal with the rebound, and that is what happened. That is absolutely what happened.
There's an invisible mouse in here, folks. It's knocking stuff over.
We'll call him Humble.
Yes. That is our new imaginary mouse friend. His name is Humble. You can see Fernandez has that hunger, but Lippincott has the forehand. Wow.
Fernandez picking up the pace of play here in game number 2.
Worked out for him there.
Like we saw in game number 1, the faster pace of play really favors Georgia.
And she's very crafty with the puck at high speeds. Nope, she gets one by. They trade shots there back and forth.
The Marino brothers are in a 4-4 tie in game number 2 on one of the outer tables. For those of you following along live on Brackalope, should have mentioned that earlier. You can follow the action and brackets live at brackalope.com. This week you're going to need to search Robin Hood, not Cons. We went back to the old moniker. Robin Hood and today's date will be the first one that comes up. Click on that and you can follow along on the brackets to see how the tournament is playing out in real time.
Looks like Georgia might have 5. I might be behind on the scoring here.
And Ellie Marino has just closed out Chris Marino over on our satellite table, so he will be moving on to face Michael Garza in an elimination bracket quarterfinal.
Georgia is dominating right now, and Fernandez is getting frustrated. And that is game.
Our winner's bracket final is set. Anthony Marino Sr. will be facing off against Brian Croco for the first spot at our championship table this evening. We will have that coming at you shortly. So with Georgia winning against Austin, she is going to move on to face Krista Marino. Wow, we've got a Marino family marathon this evening. Hey, there was a 4-12 shot that that a member of their family was going to win tonight.
That would be 1 and 3, right?
Boy, if you could bet air hockey in Vegas, I'd take that to the bank.
Pretty good odds, considering the field. Yeah. And we're going to go ahead and take a little short break here while we set up the next game for you.
I'm thinking about this woman in Colorado that I really like. You know, I'm thinking about explaining to her first that to me, you're like an air hockey table.
I like fighting to the death on the table, you know, like a gladiator.
This guy hit the throat. I fell in love with air hockey in June of 1973. I picked up the mallet, no glove, didn't know anything about it, won 18 games in a row. There was so much energy going through my body of air hockey greatness that my arm just, it was too much.
These people are more intense than that.
What do you think, honey, of the air hockey crowd?
I won't say anything.
There's a lot of individuals in air hockey. They have unique interests and they're not a real mainstream. Men, traditionally competitive, typically not in relationships with women, kind of loners, kind of in love with the table and maybe married to the table, I don't know.
I used to play air hockey every day. I'd play 30, 40 games a day. I would just play air hockey. That's what I like to do.
That's ridiculous.
Mark feels like he has to make sure that air hockey's not going to die, to make sure that when he is dead, air hockey will continue living.
I think the extinction of air hockey is a very real concern. The arcades are virtually extinct these days.
Unless somebody is able to come in and do some really radical marketing, it may not be around.
We have wives, we have jobs, we have things that we can spend our money on rather than coming to Vegas to play air hockey. So there's definitely something about air hockey that's keeping us going.
We're really starting to reach out and connect the fan base to the sponsor base to the player base.
Oh, you got 500! Like to win 16-3! 4-7-0! Unbelievable!
The moment of playing air hockey, there is no misery. Playing air hockey.
Why they have jump rope and things like that on ESPN and not air hockey, it's kind of beyond me.
All right, and we're back, and we're into the match here between young Krista Moreno and wily seasoned vet Georgia Lippincott. Believe young Krista's getting 2 points a game against Georgia for the skill level gap there. And Georgia ties it up really fast there in the first few hands. Georgia seems to be probing, looking for a way to get past the young Moreno's defenses. Oh, 3 up. Georgia taking a slight lead there at 4-3. Georgia snakes another one by young Moreno after a little back and forth. Oh, and she scores on a wicked backhand off the rail. Oh, look at that. Tie game. Like the fight in the young Moreno. She's got heart, ladies and gentlemen. Georgia, though, that wily vet. A very timely forehand. It snakes through. Puts her on the precipice of a win. But Moreno scores in return. All right. Who's going to take the first set? Georgia trying various backhands and forehands, trying to get through the defense of young Moreno. And snakes one through finally to take the first set. Georgia having to face a 3-0 deficit to start the game. Already has closed the gap a little bit here, making it 3-1. Alright, Georgia gets another one by. Now it's a skinny 1-point lead. 5-3, just like that.
I'm thinking about this woman in Colorado that I really like. You know, I'm thinking about explaining to her first that to me, you're like an air hockey table.
I like fighting to the death on the table, you know, like a gladiator.
This guy hit the throat. I fell in love with air hockey in June of 1973. I picked up the mallet, no glove, didn't know anything about it, won 18 games in a row. There was so much energy going through my body of air hockey greatness that my arm just, you know, it was too much.
These people are more intense than average.
What do you think, honey, of the air hockey crowd?
I won't say anything.
There's a lot of individuals in air hockey. They
All right, folks, this is our winner's bracket final, an even money matchup between Anthony Marino and Brian Acroco. Winner of this will gain the first coveted spot at our championship table. These are our last two players without a loss this evening.
And here we go. And away we go. Oh, we got a quick one from Croco.
We'll get his permission to start calling him Rocco, so we'll stop butchering his last name on a weekly basis.
Hey, Croco.
You can't do that without permission first.
Right. You never want to call somebody something they don't want to be called, that's for sure.
Including this one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 matches left, including the one we're watching right now. So the winner of this will be forced to wait patiently while we play out the elimination bracket. The loser with a pass straight to the elimination bracket finals and a second shot to make the championship table. Our elimination bracket has Georgia Lippincott and LA Marino left. And they will play at the conclusion of this match, unless it's going on another table, and I will find that out. No, we are down to single table action for the rest of the night. So the remainder of the tournament will be playing out on the stream over the next hour or so.
And you will not miss a minute of the action from any of the final matches.
And there's a really good chance we're watching a preview of the final table right here, folks. This may end up being a grudge match championship between these two players right here. Both playing well, running their way through the winner's bracket. And as I said before, only remaining players without a loss this evening. Brian trying to make it, almost made a transition shot on that rebound, but thought better of it. Came back to play defense, and Marino capitalizes anyway.
All right, sorry folks. Looks like we have the scores flipped. We're gonna fix that for you there.
Marino has a commanding lead over Brian here in the winner's bracket final. And Marino quickly runs Brian Coco off the table in game number 1, shutting him down 7-2. 7-2, commanding victory. Marino playing some solid hockey over the last couple of weeks. Saw him make a final table and lose to his son 2 short weeks ago.
Seems to have come back with a vengeance.
Definitely playing solid hockey and opens up game number 2 the way game number 1 ended, with Marino putting points on the board.
A lot of high-flying action back and forth. Pucks flying.
Marino showing some patience here early in game number 2 and paying off. Finding holes all over Akako's defense, but Brian answers with a nice right wall under, deep off the rail. Short-lived celebrations. Marino seizes a 2-goal lead again.
Seem to be testing each other's defensive capabilities back and forth. Looking to capitalize on any and every little mistake.
Another shout out to the I-45 Bingo Hall as Akako scores and cuts the lead to 1. Game's getting started there in about 8 minutes, folks. Work your way up to the corner of I-45 North and FM 1960. $10,000 just waiting to be won at the I-45 Bingo Hall.
Krukka trying to take the second game, trying to force a game 3, fighting hard.
The momentum has definitely shifted to his side of the table over the last couple of seconds here. Marino stops the bleeding and we're all knotted up at 4. Nice block by Marino, pinching the puck down into the corner on a strong forehand from Brian. Change of pace, got behind Akako's defense, but lacked the accuracy. Good idea from Marino. He's able to do everything but finish. There's a joke in there somewhere, folks, but,
You know, I just didn't want
but our
to.
studio bottle of Old Humble's gone. And I'm not ready to test the Facebook censors just yet. Promise we'll have a livelier broadcast next week. I'll replenish our stash of Old Humble. Just out of curiosity, how many of you out there in the verse are watching now?
Got a little bit of a defensive standoff here. Oh, and then right then Marino gets by the defense. We've gone a couple minutes without seeing the puck hit the goal. Oh, and Croca answers back. Ties the game at 5. And then the puck goes flying. Marino takes the very important point game lead here. Oh, and then Croca ties it up, so it's a very big point here at the end. Who's going to take this game? Oh, and then Marino gets the Duke, snatches the game. That was a very, very tight second game as opposed to the first game. And that was a major psychological victory for Marino, knowing that they are probably going to meet again in the finals.
Yeah, Brian gonna have to face the winner of Lippincott and Little Marino. So he'll have the daunting task of being behind at least a point or two against both of those players. We're going to cut away for a quick break, but we will be right back with that elimination bracket semifinal.
I'm thinking about this woman in Colorado that I really like. You know, I'm thinking about explaining to her first that to me, you're like an air hockey table.
I like fighting to the death on the table, you know, like a gladiator.
I just got hit in the throat.
I fell in love with air hockey in June of 1973. I picked up the mallet, no glove, didn't know anything about it, won 18 games in a row. There was so much energy going through my body of air hockey greatness that my arm just, you know, it was too much.
These people are more intense than average.
What do you think, honey, of the air hockey crowd?
I won't say anything.
There's a lot of individuals in air hockey. They have unique interests and they're not a real mainstream. Men, traditionally competitive, typically not in relationships with women, kind of loners, you know, kind of in love with the table and maybe married to the table, I don't know.
I used to play air hockey every day. I'd play 30, 40 games a day. I would just play air hockey. That's what I like to do.
That's ridiculous.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the elimination semifinal. A little bit of a scoring issue to note. The last game was Anthony Marino. This is little Anthony. This is the son, although the name plate was wrong last game. It's correct this game. Just want to put that out there. Georgia's taking a slight early lead, 3-2, and getting set one. Showing some of that veteran savvy. Young Marino, though, coming back to take the slight lead the other way after back-to-back scores. And Georgia with the nasty forehand. But then gets an own goal. And then young Marino's taking a commanding-ish lead here, going into the end of the first set. 6-4.
LA's been playing some solid defense here in the last couple of minutes.
And the nasty backhand straight down the middle finishes off Georgia in the first set. 7-4 final score. Young Marino getting an early point on Miss Lippincott. May need a reevaluation of that after this game. And a quick 3-0 lead for young Marino over Georgia. Georgia finally gets on the board there with a nice backhand. Young Marino trying to find his way through. Georgia playing some pretty stout defense. Trying to get control, finally does. Young Marino with a commanding 4-1 lead game in set 2. Georgia with the swift answer. Cuts the lead in half. But Marino again won't go away.
Brian Akako awaiting the winner of this match in the elimination bracket final. Well, we might be working our way up to a grudge match either way. If Marino can win this match here, which he has just done, we are guaranteed either a tonight grudge match between Brian Akoko and Anthony Marino, or a 2-week-old grudge match from when father played son 2 weeks ago and the youngster bested his dad. So, should be an entertaining couple of matches we have coming up either way. Our player's going to take a short break, and we will be right back with some live air hockey action. And we are off once again, folks. It's our elimination bracket final. Winner of this will gain the second spot in the championship match, where Anthony Marino is awaiting a winner. Brian Croco opens the scoring.
Young Marino's getting 4 points against a Croco.
Yeah, this is going to be a tall order for Brian. LA Marino's been playing really well with his last couple outings. That 4-point head start he's getting may get voted down to 3 here soon, because he has just run his way through some really good players when you spot him 4 points. Nothing wrong with that, it's why we do it, but eventually you gotta start keeping it up. And it might be time for him to start with only 3, if not 2.
And just like that, game 1 is over.
Anthony Marino Jr. running through Brian Croco in a hurry. Oh no. Hey, somebody had to say it.
That's just clever rebranding.
It is. Mute it for a second.
Alright, just wanted to confirm the score there. This game is 4-1 right now for Young Marino. Croco's got a long mountain to climb if he wants to get that final spot, the final table for the grudge match. He's gonna have to get 12 before Marino gets 3. Well, it doesn't quite work out that way, but more or less that. Oh, very deft by the young Marino. I think he's starting to sense that a Croco is going to press forward here to try to get this win. Alright, Brian is fighting back, fighting hard. Young Marino tried that forehand again, but it didn't work. Puck is flying all over the place, and you know the game is intense.
That puck really needs to get struck either really perfectly on an edge descended flying or really hard. I'm guessing this is more of the we're hitting it real hard variety.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, partner. They're definitely smashing the puck, and look, it's paying off. Young Marino 1 point away from putting this away.
And having a rematch with Dad. Brian Croco not going anywhere just yet. We are into the money games now. Loser of this will get paid for a third place finish. Pretty respectable.
Oh, and young Marino takes it on the forehand.
So for the third week in a row, we are going to have an all-family final table. These two Marinos played 2 weeks ago. Last week it was the Weissmans, and this week it's going to be the Marinos once again. Little father-son rematch from 2 weeks ago. This time, LA with the dad with the winning streak through to the final table. So Anthony Jr. is going to have to be the one who wins two matches this week against Dad. We'll see if he can do it. One more shout out to the I-45 Bingo Hall. Games just getting going. Make your way out there. Take part in some live cash bingo this evening. And to, once again, Old Humble Distilleries and where'sthegig.com. We will be back. Oh, we're not going anywhere, folks. Must be nice to be young, just gearing up, heading right to that final match right now.
Yeah, you probably don't want to get cold. If it's lining up well, then it's lining up well. All right, we got young Marino on the left, Papa Marino on the right. About to get the face off here at center table. Well, I say that, and then Pops takes a couple of practice shots. Oh, the elder statesman demanded a little bit of warm-up time there. A little more gamesmanship. He's definitely bringing it this week with all the tricks of the trade of the wily vets.
In his defense, he has been sitting for about 20 minutes since his last match ended. So asking for a little bit of warm-up time isn't all that out of the ordinary.
And we're trying to get it going here. A little more gamesmanship, a little bit more final gamesmanship here.
If he does it one more time, I'll go out there and let him know we're going to start talking about him on the air. And we are off.
Wow. Almost
Nice
got the
block.
cheap
I thought
one
that was
there.
in.
Yeah. We're not made aware if anybody's getting points, so we're just going to catch that on the fly.
Pretty sure the youngster's going to get 4, like he has been. Unless he waived him because he's pointing Dad.
That's 5, yeah.
That's 5, so he is not going to waive his points against
Yeah, he learned that lesson. He definitely learned that lesson. Oh.
Junior out to a 6-1 lead.
And takes the first victory just like that.
No pressure, Dad, but this would be 2 straight losses to the kid.
Four points, excuse me.
And Dad's back against the wall here in match number 1 of the championship table. Down a game to Junior. Junior scoring 3 quick ones to finish that off 7-1 in game number 1.
Shut the door quickly. That is for sure.
Again, just more evidence that maybe Junior needs to be moved up a level so his head start isn't so significant.
Just like that, we're out to 5-1. There's more of that puck flying.
Right. I've just been informed that Disney was nice enough to release The Mandalorian a week early, so we're going to need to hurry this on so I can get home.
It's all about priorities.
Stupid Disney got me hooked on another one. I will say the Baby Yoodle memes have been pretty stellar. Junior is rolling through Dad once again.
Sometimes youth overpowers experience, it seems. Not in that instance, though.
Now, in Dad's defense, without the 4-point head start, we'd be all tied up right now. Or he'd be up 4-2.
Yes, he would. He'd be up 4-2. But that's the first game.
Well, match number 1 is in the books, and Anthony Marino Sr. dealt his first loss by Junior. That is a 2-match win streak going against Dad. Just been informed by Anthony Marino Sr. that despite the crushing loss in match number 1, in his exact words, it is not over yet.
He's going to have to win 2 in a row to take it now. He put himself in a little bit of a hole.
He's going to have to end the 2-match losing streak to his own son. Youth has definitely been served when it comes to this family matchup over the last two weeks we've seen it. Dad,
he might have lit a fire under Dad, though. He's coming out firing now. Oh, the Junior sneaks one by.
5-2, and this is going to be the 3 games that decides it, folks. Both players now with the loss, as father and son just trading points. I'd like to see Senior maybe change the pace and take a little bit off of one of these shots. Junior keeps leaning out over the table, and it's really going to catch him napping, I think, if he does it. Despite the pace of play, Marino Sr. is a very statistical player, so he likes setting up opportunities for himself by creating weaknesses in his opponent. Another good shot from Marino Sr. Senior trying to come back, but he's staring game point in the face, but he's gotten it to sudden death this time. First time Senior's seen 6 points against Junior.
Yeah. Mad scramble for the puck.
Yeah, that transition play there at the center line was a little chaotic. Oof, good block and counter by Senior. And there
he
is.
Gets that one.
Dad finally snapping some victory away from Junior. Maybe that's going to change how this match has gone so far. Don't really think he sees the momentum at all. That was a really closely matched game.
Here we go with set number 4.
Game number 4, but this is game number 2 in the final match of the championship table. So if Senior wins this game here, we are done and he will be crowned champion and have won the grudge match. If Junior wins, we move on to game number 3. And Junior moves out quickly to 5-1, scoring his first natural point on his second possession.
Oh wait, Junior won the first game, so wouldn't really need to win this game to win the...
Oh, Junior won the first... I thought Junior won the first match.
No, the first whole game. Because remember, this is the second game now.
This is the third game they played. Junior won the first two. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I got this backwards. I'm sorry. No, Junior already won a match.
He won 2, right, so he won a whole match. And then
Dad
this is the
won,
second set of the second match.
So if Dad wins, we're done. If Junior wins, we play a third.
Still?
Yeah, because match number 1's over. So this was the second game. This is the second game of match number 2. They each have a loss. The game that Dad won was game number 1 of match number 2.
Right, but Junior won both sets of the first match.
Yeah, so that match is over and you reset back to 0.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I think I always get that confused. Seems like it's 4-3. It's a little bit of an unusual, but again, double elimination, just slightly different rules. Oh, young Marino got that one.
So it is down to this final game. Junior 3 points away. Senior 7 points away from victory.
Let's get in the stats as well.
And away we go. Set number 3. And young Marino comes out firing. Seems to be trying a lot of forehands and backhands against dear old Dad. Trying to strike right down the center. Oh!
Is Junior the first to match point?
Yes, he is.
And a skunk in game number 3 developing.
And that is the game, ladies and gentlemen.
Junior does
it to senior again.
Well, folks, it was an entertaining night. Kind of a quick one this evening. Over before 11 p.m. We're getting better at this as we do it every week. Like to again thank all of our sponsors at the I-45 Bingo Hall, Old Humble Distilleries, where'sthegig.com, and all of our individual benefactors. You know who you are. Charles, anything to add?
No, it's been great. We got up and running, and we got the show on the road, and lots of good action here tonight.
Well, it's going to be a Marino Junior champion, a Marino Senior with a second place finish, and Brian Akoko with Croco with a respectable third place finish tonight. We will be tuning in same time next week with y'all. Follow us on Facebook at AHL360, or you can always watch our stream starting at 9 p.m. on Twitch every Friday. For Charles Ray, my name is Jay Lippincott. It's been fun, and we are out.